Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2409 with a release date of Friday, December 13th, 2024. Follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. The ISS deploys a ham radio satellite made of wood. The Geminids are here, so prepare to work some meteor scatter. And there are dozens of hams in town at an ARRL model school in New York City. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2459 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG.
Our top story takes us to Japan, where officials at JAXA, the Japanese space agency, cheered on December 9th as they watched the International Space Station's deployment of LignoSat, an amateur radio CubeSat made largely of wood. The satellite, which arrived at the ISS a month ago, has been a high-profile experiment in avoiding space junk by using biodegradable components, in this case, magnolia wood. The long-awaited joint launch by NASA and JAXA makes yet another satellite available for amateur radio. The satellite has a CW beacon on 435.82 megahertz plus Doppler. To view the launch, visit the YouTube link for the JAXA channel in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. The Meteors are putting on a show at the moment and maybe even giving a little boost to your last chances of DX via meteor scatter for this year. Here's the update from Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
The final major meteor shower of the year, the Geminids, hits its peak on the 14th and 15th of December, but will remain active until December 24th, Christmas Eve. It's a prolific shower that could be obscured by the full moon in some regions during the key peak moments, but radio offers some solace. If you can't see the showers, you can tune them in on FM radio, according to FMDXer Nick Langdon, writing on the RadioWorld.com website. Nick writes that a sensitive FM radio tuned to an open frequency might be able to receive a somewhat rewarding message from high above as a series of audible bursts known as pings. He also recommends a directional Yagi FM band antenna if you have one. Of course, those hams amongst us who enjoy meteor scatter will likely be tuning into radio too, namely 2 meters and 6 meters. They'll no doubt be chasing those ionized trails left behind in search of some memorable DX. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Pipers will be piping, drummers will be drumming, ladies will be dancing, lords will be leaping. And hams around the United States will be calling QRZ starting at 0000 UTC on December 14th and ending Christmas Day. The 6th year of operation for the popular 12 Days of Christmas special event is getting underway on the HF bands. In addition to all those ladies, lords, and drummers, and a whole bunch of French hens, geese, swans, and turtle doves, you will also find 2 bonus stations, VC9XMAS1 and VC9XMAS2, joining the action this year from Canada. Everyone will be using either CW or sideband. There will be no QSL cards. Work all 12 stations, and Santa will let you download a certificate saying Clean Sweep after January 31st. If you also work either or both of the bonus stations, your certificate will say Clean Sweep Plus. Best of all, even if you work only a handful of stations or just one, you can still download a certificate confirming your contact. Visit the QRZ.com page for K2RYD for more details and put this event on your holiday wish list. In the midst of a cold winter here in the United States, what audio could impart more warmth than the sound of AM? Here's Stephen Kinford in 8WB with a suggestion on how to stay warm on the day after Christmas here in the U.S.
You'll receive a warm welcome when you check into the annual AM night of the Greater Cincinnati Amateur Radio Association on December 26th. Pre-net check-ins begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it continues well into the night. Set your rig to AM mode and tune to 1.936 megahertz. A number of the check-ins are expected to be from ops who have converted some broadcast rigs, but you can also expect to hear military radios and some from the golden age of AM broadcast radio. Of course, if you have a contemporary rig and it offers you AM mode, join in. AM Night will also appear on NetLogger to help keep track of check-ins. This is Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
As we reported back in October, a Romanian teenager won a starring role at an international high-speed telegraphy world championship in Tunisia after setting a new world record for receiving call signs sent using Morse code. Now Yanis Kataru, Y08YNS, is one of the many stars in a new BBC radio documentary about the power Morse code has as a communications protocol. The documentary, Ready to Transmit, is hosted by Stephen Coates and was released on the 8th of December. In addition to visiting the recent championship, the 28-minute program highlights the role Morse played in helping a disabled woman communicate with her family and talks to a war veteran who still remembers her code skills after more than 80 years. Code is also seen as a source of joy, as the documentary quotes Yanis as saying it brought him unbelievable happiness upon receiving his hard-earned award. To hear the documentary, visit the link in the text version of this week's script at arnewsline.org. A leader, an advocate, and a creative influence on the team behind amateur radio on the International Space Station has become a silent key. We hear about him and his work from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
It was not long ago that Gaston Bertel's ON4WF received the title of Elder Statesman from the ARIS International Team. The honor was bestowed as a tribute to his ideas, contributions, and efforts that led to the creation of an effective team behind the amateur radio on the International Space Station program. Sharing his expertise in licensing and third-party traffic, Gaston became a respected and well-recognized figure in Europe and elsewhere. He died from cancer on the 3rd of December. His long association with the pairing of human spaceflight and amateur radio had its roots in a space shuttle mission of 1992 that resulted in a student radio contact with Belgium's first astronaut, Dirk Primo, ON1AFD. Many other developments and innovations ensued in his work over the years, which established his influence with the European Space Agency. Announcing his death, ARIS acknowledged the affable manner and enthusiasm he brought to his work. They said his personality radiated an inviting aura to all. He has been a friend, a leader, and an inspiration to all of us. End quote. Gaston Bertels was 97. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
A proficient CW operator who is a fixture and an award winner in a variety of high-profile events in New Zealand has become a silent key. We learn more about him from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Gerard Van Antwerpen, ZL2GVA, was as an enthusiastic a CW operator and QRPer as one could hope to find. He used his talents regularly on the NZNet, where he began his now familiar role as net control operator back in February of 2021. Over the years, he achieved prominence for sending code as a winner of the NZ Sprints, NZ Straight Key Night, the Sangster Shield, and the Memorial Contest. Gerard became a silent key on the 19th of November, 2 years after being diagnosed with prostate cancer. Gerard's amateur radio life began in the Dutch province of Zeeland, where he was born. He received the call sign PE1ONB in 1992, and after passing the qualifying exam for CW at 12 words per minute, gained privileges on HF with the call sign PA3GMJ. After relocating to New Zealand in 1997, he would often be found in his spare time building Morse paddles in his workplace, Cooten Limited, where he was a quality assurance and design manager. An active member of the New Zealand Amateur Radio Transmitter Society, he was a committee member of Branch 22 and a steadfast operator there for Field Day. When the time came to install a reverse beacon network receiver at the club, he served as coordinator for the project. On November 5 of this year, just a few days before he died, he participated in the NZNet for the final time. Gerard was 59. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including multi-mode retransmissions on the ANZEL Automated News Broadcast System in Australia and New Zealand on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Australia Eastern Standard Time. Graduation day came early for a group of students at Staten Island Technical High School, an ARRL education model school that grew out of the league's Teachers Institute on Wireless Technology. 159 students took and passed their FCC licensing exams, 18 of them upgrading to General and Amateur Extra. The program is overseen at the school by teacher Everton Enriquez, KD2ZZT, who attended the Teachers Institute in 2023. The students received congratulations from the league's Education and Learning Manager, Steve Goodgame, K5ATA, and ARRL Hudson Division Director Ed Wilson, N2XDD. The New York City Model School was featured in a story on Amateur Radio Newsline this past February. Amateur radio takes pride in its accessibility to radio operators with disabilities. This month, a number of member societies in Region 1, International Amateur Radio Union, are celebrating the open door that ham radio presents to the disabled community by calling QRZ with special event call signs.
Special event stations in Croatia and Switzerland are honoring the resolution passed in 1992 by the United Nations General Assembly, proclaiming the 3rd of December to be the International Day of Disabled Persons. This is a day devoted to awareness of what those with disabilities face around the world on the political, economic, cultural and social fronts. The Croatian stations are on the air until the end of the year, activating call signs 9A24PDRA, 9A24PD, and 9A24D. In Switzerland, hams have been using the call sign HB9IPDA. IARU Region 1 itself recognizes its responsibilities as well through its information program for disabled radio amateurs. That program circulates useful information connecting disabled hams and would-be hams with resources to promote greater access and enjoyment of amateur radio. Riri OD5RI, the coordinator of the program for IARU Region 1, encourages participation, stating on the organization's webpage, quote, "Let's work together to ensure that amateur radio continues to be a hobby and a service that welcomes all, regardless of physical challenges," end quote. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The world turns its attention to Calcutta as Hamfest India 24 opens its doors to hundreds from the international amateur radio community. We have more details from Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
Delegates representing the amateur radio community from Nepal, Oman, Germany, Dubai and the US and 16 more states from around India will converge on Kolkata on the 14th and 15th of December for Hamfest India 24. The National Amateur Radio Convention will take place at the Sister Nivedita University and will be hosted by Oscar India. Oscar India is an organisation with an educational mission, and its name stands for Open Source Classes for Amateur Radio. Participants are expected to include representatives from the Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority, the National Disaster Response Force, the India Meteorological Department, and the National Disaster Management Authority. Last year's event, which reported an attendance of more than 1,000 hams from around the globe, was held in the state of Gujarat. The Hamfest showcases technical advancements in ham radio and provides opportunities for networking and mentorship. Organisers are particularly pleased to have the Hamfest return to the state of Bengal this year. It was home to the nation's first licensed radio amateur, Amarendra Chandragupta, to Juliet Kilo in 1921. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In the world of DX, listen for Hans OE1SGU/OE3SGU using the call sign DU1OE from Luzon Island, IOTA number OC042 in the Philippines until the 27th of December. Listen for him on 40 through 6 meters using all modes. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Joe OZ0J will be using the call sign TO0J from French Guiana from the 20th through the 31st of December. He will operate FT8, CW, and sideband on 80 through 6 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL information. Reiner DL2AAZ will be on the air as 8Q7RL from the Maldives, IOTA number AS013 through the 17th of December, using sideband and FT8 on 40 through 10 meters. Also listen for David HB9ILL, operating at 8Q7IL through the 18th of December. He's running 10 watts on 40, 20, and 10 meters sideband. QSL details for both ops are on QRZ.com. Polish amateurs have activations planned to celebrate Christmas and the New Year. Listen for HF0CLAUS and SP0CLAUS on the air now through January 6th. See QRZ.com for QSL details. We end this week's report with a special message from someone we only hear from at this time of year. This may be radio, but it doesn't mean that this fellow isn't watching each and every one of us closely anyway to see if we've been naughty or nice. In fact, here he is to tell us what his plans are for Christmas Eve. Here's a hint. It includes radio.
Oh, hello again, boys and girls. It's time again for the WatchNet. Oh, that's right. Old Santa, I'll be making my rounds, and for the 14th year in a row, my little helpers at the Dewdrop-In will be keeping their highly caffeinated eyes peeled on the radio. Oh, join us on the Santa WatchNet starting at 1800 hours Eastern Time. Oh, and as always, my not-so-little elf Dave in 3NTV will be keeping track of old Santa's location, or as we say, QTH. And you know I still have that radio in my sleigh, and I just love chatting with the good children all over the world. A couple of bad ones sneak in, too, every now and then. You hear me, Dave? Ho, 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 ho. Hey, be listening for N1S. That's number one Santa. Ho, ho, ho. So gather up the little ones and get them checked in, because third-party traffic is always on the nice list. Once again, it's the Santa WatchNet. Christmas Eve, 1800 hours Eastern on the Dewdrop-In Echolink conference server. That's node number 355800. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and 73 from me, number one Santa, and all my little helpers at the Dewdrop-In. Ho, 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 ho.
What? You haven't sent in your amateur radio haiku yet for Newsline's Haiku Challenge? Go QRT for just a few minutes and set your thoughts down using traditional haiku format, a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Share your ham radio experience poetically, and then submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, AMSAT News Service, BBC, David BRK7DB, Ed Wilson, N2XDD, the FCC, 425DX News, IARU Region 1, JAXA, NZNet, QRZ Forums, Radio World, ShortwaveRadio.de, Space.com, Telegraph India, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
W8WKY. Time out. This is KD8SLG. The Sarah Clubnet will start in about 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Stick around. There is a NetLogger session open for those of you who like to play along. And if someone would be so kind as to give me a radio check and make sure I'm getting out there, I sure would appreciate it. It's KD8SLG.
KD8SLG, KD8EPC. Evening, Nick.
Well, there's a familiar radio check. How am I sounding up there in Medina, Dustin?
You are sounding absolutely wonderful. Full quieting, no noise, no anything strange. All is well in the world. So all is well there. How's this thing sounding down that way?
Sounding awesome, Dustin. Keep it that way for tomorrow.
That's fabulous. I think this new coax really did make a world of difference. I kind of suspected for the longest time that was my whole problem.
Well, it's definitely working for you, man. All right. Thanks for the radio check there, Dustin. I'm going to go take care of the last-minute business for the net at the top of the hour. I'll see you there, man. It's KD8SLG, clear until net.
All right there, Nick. Sounds good. You get your cold beverage, and we'll be standing by. This is KD8EPC, clear until net.
the weekly Serenette, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's my girl. QST, 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 calling all amateurs to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Club Net. Right here on the W8WKY repeater in Doylestown, Ohio, 147 Mark 390, positive offset and a PL tone of 114 Mark 8. We meet here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, right after Newsline at 7:30. Make a few announcements, get a few chuckles, find out what the Trivia Master Eric has in store for us tonight. This is Control Net. We ask that all traffic pass through net control. Your net control operator this evening is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG. My personal is Nick, November India Charlie Kilo, just Nick. Just a few announcements tonight. We don't have a December meeting this year because of the Christmas party we had last week, so nothing there. January meeting is going to be on the 16th. The location is yet to be decided because the Eagles are doing some renovations, so we'll let you know where it is before then. And the first license exam session of the year will be February 1st, and that'll be in Wayne County at the Smithville Brethren Church, 10 a.m. Those are all the announcements I've got tonight. Does anyone else have any announcements for the club before we get started? Now's your chance.
Everyone, please join the Barometer Net Monday through Saturday, including our holiday week. We will be here for you. WA8KOC. Back to you, Nick.
Fine business, Fred. Thank you very much. All right. So this is the way it works. We're going to take a couple rounds of in and out check-ins, just in and outs for those of you who just want to say hi and get your ticket punched for the night. Then we'll do a couple rounds of check-ins, see who wants to stick around and play trivia and make some comments to the group. Before we get started, is there any emergency or priority traffic out there right now? Please call now. If there is an emergency in the net, just say break, break, do something to get my attention. We'll slow things down, see what we can do to help you out. In the meantime, let's get this party started. In-ins only, please. In and out check-ins only. This is W8WKY. I'm listening.
Speak up, honey. Speak up. KD8 check me in and out. Whiskey, Bravo 8, Victor, Mike, Whiskey, Jim in Barberton.
November 8, Whiskey, Sugar, Bill is the one.
Kilo, Echo 8, Juliet, November Hotel, Duggan Rittman, in and out.
November 8, Delta Romeo Delta, N8DRD, down in Marshallville, in and out.
Tomas in Canton, in and out.
Whiskey 8, Charlie, Tango Mike, Carriot, Portage Lakes, in and out.
Echo 8, India Mike, Echo, David, Sterling, in and out.
WAKYW, Whiskey Delta 8, Lima Alpha, good evening. I'll be in and out.
Kilo, Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8TLB, Randy and Rittman. Good evening, everyone. I'll be in and out, 73. Thanks for running that, Nick. You do a great job, brother.
W8WKY.
All right, let me pick it up right there and tell you who I got. We got KD8NEO, WB8VMW, N8WS, KE8JNH, N8DRD. There was a guy named Tomas in there. That's all I got. I'm going to have to get back to you in a second. W8CTM, KE8IME, WD8LLA, WB4AIZ, N8JET, and KE8TLB. Randy, you're welcome, my brother. That Downeast station, if you come back with your call sign, please, I'd sure appreciate it. This is WKY.
Hey, sir, Ponto, sir. Martin and Wadburn. In and out. You didn't get me, Nick.
Well, got you now, Mark, but I'm still looking for Tomas. Tomas, if you're still out there, please come back to your call sign. All right, nothing heard. One more round of in and outs. Anybody else out there want in and out? Now's your chance. WKY, I'm listening.
And Jay, John in Norton. In and out. Thanks, Nick, for running the net. 7-3.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Hotel Bravo. Craig and Shreve, thanks for running the net, Nick. Good to hear from you. Bill Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, Curtin Cuyahoga Falls, in and out.
Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, Phil in Canal Fulton. No traffic. Nice work, Nick. Sound great. WV3K clear.
Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Mike, Common Green, in and out.
Alpha Hotel India, Mike Barberton, in and out. 73.
All right, I got to hold it up right there. I just missed the last two calls completely. I don't know why. And we had a complete train wreck at the beginning. I'm going to tell you guys who I've got, and we're going to try this again. KF8CHB, Craig, I got you in there. KE8ULC, Kurt, you're in there. WV3K, Phil, that's all I got out of that mess. All right, guys, let's try this again.
Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Mike, Tom and Green, in and out.
All right, we picked up KB8VHM, Tom and Green. Thanks for stopping by, man. All right, let's get the people who want to answer the trivia in here now. Trivia question, people. This is your chance. This is WKY. I'm listening.
This is Kilo Delta 8 Echo Papa Charlie KD8PC Dustin and Medina.
And this is WA8KOC Fred in Akron.
Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Victor Victor KE8WVV Ethan in Manaway.
Kilo Echo 8 Yankee November Juliet, John in Norton.
Kilo Echo 8 Alpha Romeo Bravo KE8ARB Brandon in Manaway.
November Tango 8 Delta NT8D Dave temporarily mobile in Copley.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Romeo, KE8ZZR, Harry and Wadsworth.
John in Massline.
This is November 8, Papa, Dave and Greenford. I'll be in and out.
Whiskey November 8, Sierra Charlie India.
All right, fine business there. We picked up KD8EPC, Dustin, WAKOC, Fred, KE8WVV, Ethan, KE8YNJ, John, KE8ARB, Brandon, NT8D, Dave, temporarily mobile, KE8ZZR, Harry, KE8UIB, John, N8PPP, Dave, you're in and out, and N8, Walter, I got you in there, SCI. I'll fix that in a second. All right, one more round of those who want to take the trivia question, and then we're going to get this party started for real. So W8WKY, I'm listening.
This is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Charlie 8, Papa Bravo Victor, Dave in Creston.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, Tom in Canton.
Kilo Charlie 8, Hotel Delta Papa, KC8, HDP, Jerry in Shreve.
Kilo 8 November, Juliet, Connor, North Canton.
All right, 5 business. We picked up John W03X, KC8 PVV Dave, K8MNT, KC8 HDP Jerry, hi Jerry, and K8NJ Connor. All right, one more real quick. Anybody else out there? This is W8WKY, go.
Me, Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Fox.
Kilo 4 Oscar Golf, K4OG.
KE8 QFT, Fred and Medina.
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Lima, Sierra, W2JLS, John over there in Fairlawn.
KCA, Fox Queen Victor, Mark Aurora.
AA8, CF, Alpha Alpha 8, Charlie Sierra, Gary in Fairlawn.
All right, I guess there were a few more people out there. All right, we picked up W8GMF Gary, K4OG Mark, the old original gangsta. K8FQFT, Uncle Fred, W2JLS, John, my brother from another mother, KC8FQB, Mark, it's at net now. And to wrap up the list, we've got Gary, my tail gunner, AA8CS. All right, let's go up to Eric, our trivia master, see what he's got in store for us tonight. W8ELM, this is W8WKY. Take it away, Eric.
W8WKY, this is W8ELM. Good evening to you, Nick, and everyone that has checked in on the net. First, just a little preamble, I guess you could call it. When I give the question, if you are absolutely sure of the correct answer, please do not elaborate. Simply choose your answer. However, if you are not absolutely sure of the correct answer, all speculation about your guess is welcome and encouraged. All right, the holiday season is upon us. With that in mind, which of the following historical figures did not play a part in the development of what is now the jolly, red-clad, and white-bearded character we call Santa Claus? Which of the following historical figures did not play part in the development of what is now the jolly, red-clad, and white-bearded character we call Santa Claus? Is it A, Alpha, Saint Nicholas, Saint Nicholas, B, Bravo, Sinterklaas, Odin. Odin for Charlie. D. Chris Grosshouse. Again, Delta is Chris Grosshouse. And E. Echo is Father Christmas. I'll get a little time to go over those quickly. Which of the following historical figures did not play a part in the development of what is now the jolly red-clad and bearded character we call Santa Claus? Is it A, St. Nicholas, B, Sinterklaas, C, Odin, D, Rosniklaus, or E, Father Christmas? Back to that.
WADLM, this is WAWKY. What a seasonally apropos question. Thank you very much, Eric. Well, let's get a list here, and I got one mobile on the list. Let's see if Dave's still mobile and wants to answer real quick. NTAD, this is WKY. You still mobile, Dave?
I just got back into the shacks here, but thank you, Nick. I have no idea. I'm going to guess D, Delta. I'm glad to hear we'll be having a Christmas show. I will try to check in, even if it's on Echolink. I might be up in Lake County. Very excited to at least be able to participate in this club net. Nice to see everybody's Christmas party. I'll throw it back to WAWKY NTAD. Thanks.
All right, Dave. Got you down for Delta tonight. That would be Chris Gross Nicholas. Niklaus. All right, man. We got you down for Delta. Fine business. Great seeing you at the party there, Dave. Let's bounce back to the top of the list. See what Dustin's got for a guest tonight. KD80PC, this is WKY. What's your guess for the trivia, and what do you got for us tonight, Dustin?
All right, WKY and the Sarah Club Net. Well, good evening to you there, Nick. Let me start with the trivia. I really have no idea, so I'm just going to guess Delta because that just seems like a good answer there. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on, just hanging around the house here, getting a few things done and getting rested up for tomorrow because we've got the Border and Breaker Net at 1 o'clock and then the Beacon Net tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So fun times all around there, and tomorrow night is the Just Nick and me show, just the two of us, no Josh and Lucy. So you get to deal with just me and Nick for the whole show there. So with that, that's all I've got for you, bud. Have a great rest of the evening, and maybe we can catch up later on. With that, this is KD80PC. Back to Net Control.
KD80PC, WKY. Got you down for Delta, Dustin. Looking forward to tomorrow. It should be a good time. And try as I might, I tried to cajole Eric into giving us a trivia question for tomorrow night, but he's got other plans. We're going to clear with KD80PC. Next on the list, we've got Fred, WA8KOC. Thanks for the announcement, Fred. What do you got for a trivia question tonight, and what else you got for the group?
Just Nick. And the Tuesday Weekly Net, Ungawa. This is WA8KOC. I am going to say C, Charlie, Odin. That is my guess, and my darling bride came down and slapped me on the head and said, "You got it, man." So I don't know if I've got it or not. If I don't, she's going to catch all kinds of hell later on. It's great hearing everybody in here on a Tuesday night net. Always a great time. Always great trivia by Mr. Mast, W8ELM. Please tell him I really send my best regards to him. And we'll stick around and find out what the real answer is. And looking forward to SuperNet Wednesday tomorrow with you folks. With that, WA8WKY or KD8SLG, whatever you want to call them, WA8KOC. Take care, Nick.
Fred Ungawa. All right. We got W8KOC down for Charlie. Gary would never pick Charlie for Eric's answers, but Eric would tell you he distributes the answers evenly. Got you for Charlie. Talk to you in the morning, Fred. We're going to clear with WA8KOC. Let's go all the way up to Manaway and check out Ethan. KE8WVV, what's your answer, and what do you got to share tonight?
Kilo Echo 8 Whiskey Victor Victor. Good evening, everybody on the net. For the trivia question answer, I am going to say D. I don't really have a secure guess, but that's my guess. So that's what I'm putting. What have I got going on? Well, we finally went out and got mouse traps for the mice that like to come in during the winter. And so far we've caught 3 just between 2 o'clock and tonight, or right now. So the cat can start his retirement plan and live a happy life. Yeah, we had a mouse in our vehicle, and to put it in there, that was the first one I found. I went out there, and it was like dead in there, so disposed of that, reset it, and all that stuff. Came downstairs, checked the ones up in the ceiling, got 2 in there, so we're just waiting to see how many we get throughout the night. Them little suckers like chocolate chips, apparently, until they don't. Anyways, I don't have very much else. We're doing a little bit of RC helicopter repair here, and looks like it's going pretty well. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to you, Nick. KE8WVV, I'm going to say 73s.
KE8WV, WWKY, got you down for Delta, Ethan, and I had visitors this weekend during the long weekend as well. Apparently, I've got mousers that like savory. Mine went for the crackers. Ethan, son of Brandon, you have a great night, buddy. We'll talk to you later on. We're going to clear with KE8WVV. Next on the list, we got John in Barberton, KE8YNJ. This is W8WKY. What's your answer to trivia, and what do you got for us tonight, John?
WWKY Nick, good evening. I'm going to go with C, Charlie. I could have gone with any of them. I have no idea. So I thought pick one right in the middle. Maybe the letters for Odin stand for some sort of, some sort of acronym for something, but I couldn't think of it quick enough to come up with anything clever. So C is my choice. Have a great night, 7-3 to everyone, and we'll wait around to hear the answer.
Cool, John. I got you down for Charlie tonight, and I'm holding on to my guess in case we got to cover all the bases tonight for now, because I am without a clue as well. We're going to clear with KE8YNJ. You're listening to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Club Net. I'm KD8SLG, acting as W8WKY tonight, and next up we've got Brandon, father of Ethan, K8ARB. This is W8WKY. What's your guess on tonight's trivia, and what do you got for us, Brandon? Go.
W8WKY, this is KE8ARB. Well, I'm going to go with a grand guess of D because I didn't recognize that name, so I figure that's what we'll go with. And the trivia master said to elaborate as much as I could if I wasn't confident in my answer, and me not recognizing the name is exactly why I picked it. So, hey, you guys should encourage Ethan to study for his general. He got in my IC 705 the other day, and he was listening to the HF bands, and I saw a little sparkle in his eye, and I said, do you want to study for your general? And he said, as Ethan does, man of many words. And so anyway, if you hear him on the nets, encourage him to do that. So we've got my wife studying for her technician, me studying for the extra, and Ethan trying to persuade him to study for the general. So anyway, with that, Ethan already touched all the bases. I'm working on my little helicopter, and, we're watching all the mice eat chocolate. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to Net. 73, everybody. W8WKY. This is KE8ARB.
ARB, W8WKY. We got you down for Delta. I like your reasoning there, Brandon. And Ethan, study for your general. It's actually, I think it's easier than the technician test. And I'm still a general too. So you guys have some great study sessions up there in Manaway. Thanks for stopping by tonight. We'll talk to you later, Brandon. Going to clear with KE8ARB. Next up, we got Harry, KE8ZZR. Good seeing you this afternoon, Harry, and great fun at the Christmas party last week. What's your answer to the trivia, and what do you got for the group tonight?
W8WKY, this is KE8ZZR. Good evening, Nick. Yes, it was nice seeing you this afternoon. Too bad you couldn't stick around, but understand. Anyways, my answer for the trivia question is going to be D. D is in Delta. So, other than that, that's about it. Messing around with HF, trying to do the 12 days of Christmas. I've got about half of them done, so it's kind of interesting. It's another learning curve in ham radio. So, and Ethan, if you're still out there, go for your general. I started out as a technician last year, and I went and took my general in August, and I'll tell you what, being a general, it opens up all kinds of frequencies so you can get on HF. So that's my 2 cents. Anyways, I'll turn it back to you, Nick. 73s, this is KE8ZZR clear.
All right, Harry, fine business. Got you down for Delta as well tonight. Looks like Delta's running away with it tonight. We'll see what happens with that. And Ethan, get your general. Maybe Santa Claus will bring you an HF rig. Oh, I'm going to get a text from Brandon. All right, we're going to clear with KE8ZZR. Let's go to John in Maslin. He's going to have a couple answers for us, I think, if his parents are listening tonight. KE8UIB. This is W8WKY. Go, John.
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Good evening, Nick, and everybody out there on the net. And Jesper, I'm doing the weekly messaging back and forth with my mom and dad, and me and the wife are sitting here listening in, and I think all four of us are going to go with Charlie tonight. And I will say there are three there that I recognize, so, yeah, I'll take one I don't. So we'll all go with Charlie tonight and see how that lands. With that, I hope everybody's having a good evening and enjoying, I'm sitting here enjoying a Tuesday evening, and it's been a busy start to the week, and it's going to be a busy week. So with that, you guys know me. I live in the 5-hour dream, and nickel at a time. I'm going to go ahead and hand this back over to Net Control. This is KE8UIB 730s, y'all. Thanks for running the net, Nick.
All right, John, flipping a nickel in the jar for you. Got you down for Charlie, 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 Charlie. Or as K4OG would say, that's Charlie, 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 and Charlie. He's up soon. Give my best to your folks and your better half there, John. We're going to clear with KE8UIB. Let's talk to Walter, WN8SCI. This is W8WKY. Got an answer for us tonight and anything else to share, Walter? Go for it. Uh-oh. Walter may have been in and out. He does lots of flybys. We'll try one more time. WN8SCI. This is W8WKY. Nothing heard. Let's move on to John, WO3X. This is W8WKY. What's your answer tonight, John? And anything else you want to share? Go for it.
Good evening to all on the net. This is WO3X. Let's see. For my trivia answer, I'm going to go with D Delta. And so over the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, for a total of about 7 hours, I participated in the ARRL 10-meter contest. I only made sideband contacts and 37 contacts in 22 different entities. But I found out yesterday that the day before that contest started, that NAGOB, Dave, who was the net control station for the was currently the Lisbon Area Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night 2-meter net on 146.805 megahertz repeater became a silent key on Friday. So I have been checking into that net for over 30 years with him as the net control station. So that was a little bit sad there. So with that, back to the net, W8WKY, this is WO3X.
WO3X, W8WKY. Sorry to hear about that silent key, John. I really am. Got you down for Delta tonight. We're going to clear with WO3X. Let's pick up Dave. KC8PBV. KC8PBV. Try that again. Dave, how are you tonight, man? It's been a minute, I think. And what's your answer tonight? And what do you want to share with us?
Hey, Nick, W8WKY. I am going to go for C. I think that's the answer, but I obviously don't know for sure. Working tonight, just checking out some monitors that I have laying around here to see what's working and not what. So, I'm going with C.
KC8PBV, W8WKY, I got you down for Charlie tonight, Dave, and I'll tell you what, those monitors always work when you test them, but not when you get them out where you're going to be using them. Heads up. Good talking to you, Dave. Get on the radio more. We're going to clear with KC8PBV. Let's go out to Canton and talk to Tom. KA8MNT. This is W8WKY. What's your answer, and what do you got for us tonight, Tom?
W8WKY, this is KA8MNT. Good evening, Nick, and everybody else that's here. Well, let me see here. Let me start off with the trivia, and I'm going to go with Charlie Odin. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see. What went on today? The 6-meter group got together this morning for a brunch, and we solved a lot of the world's problems. Unfortunately, there's still many out there, so we couldn't get to all of them. But we're working on it. Not too much of anything else going on. I had to, I downloaded and set up the new FT8 program, and it seems to be pretty cool. It's got a lot more bells and whistles than the original one, so we'll see what happens with that. And I know some of you out there say that's not really radio, so hey, to each their own. Hey, I'm going to say 7-3s and turn everything back over to the super duper NCO tonight, which is Nick, but he's going with the call sign W8WKY. 7-3s all.
W8WKY.
KA8MNT, W8WKY. I got you down for Charlie, Tom. And you guys just keep whittling away at all the world's problems at all those breakfasts, and eventually we'll be all set up again. Talk to you in the morning, Tom. We're going to clear with KA8MNT. Let's go down the street and talk to Jerry. KC8HDP, this is W8WKY. What's your answer tonight, Jerry? And what else you got for the crew?
Well, good evening to you, Nick, and Eric, and everyone on the net. It's
great to have you stop by the Wayne Aries lunch today, and it was good to make an appearance, and it's nice to see everyone who was on the net at the luncheon today. I'm going to answer the trivia question. A long time ago, when I studied this stuff, I could have given you the definitive answer, and now I can't remember. So I'm going to go with Echo. No particular reason, just it hasn't been picked yet, and that's as good as any of them. So there you go. Yeah, enjoyed the Christmas party. It was great seeing everyone, and good time, good food, good people, good times. Don't really have anything else, so I'm going to send things back to you, Nick. W8WKY and the net from KC8HDP73.
KC8HDP, W8WKY, got you down for Echo. You're the first Echo of the night, the first one that isn't a C or a D. It was great seeing you at the party last week, Jerry, and at lunch today, too, man. You have a good night. We're going to clear with KC8HDP. Let's go to K8NJ. This is W8WKY. What's your answer, and what do you got for the crew tonight?
Well, good evening, everybody. Not quite sure about the answer. Feel like something might be a trick answer, so I guess I'll go with Charlie. That seems to be what called to me originally, so we'll go with that. Other than that, just down here at home now that school has been out for a week or so. Just trying to get out this new VHF UHF setup going. It seems like I'm hitting repeaters pretty well up in Akron and obviously over there to the Circa repeater. And so that's all I have for the net. I'll send it back to net control, K8NJ.
K8NJ, WWKY, got you down for Charlie, Connor, and yeah, you're making the trip just fine. A little bit of noise with you. There were one or two pops or popcorns in there with you, but fully copyable. So tune in and stop by. Someone almost always answers if you throw your call sign out on this repeater. We're going to clear with K8NJ, and let's go to Worcester. Talk to Gary. That's G and 2 R's. W8GMF, W8WKY. What's your answer and what you got for us, Gary?
W8WKY in the net. This is W8GMF. Well, I've thought about this for a long time because I was late getting checked in tonight. And I've got it broken down to D and E, one of which I've heard of and one of which I haven't. So I've been thinking all night I'd go with E, so I think I'll get out on that small piece of ice with Jerry there and let everybody else float off on the big iceberg. Have no idea who's right. So back to you, Nick, W8GMF.
W8GMF, W8WKY. All right, Gary, I got you down for Echo tonight, and I kind of narrowed it down to C and D, so I'm still leaning that direction, but it's good to have that Jerry has a partner there on his little ice flow. We're going to clear with W8GMF. Next up, we've got the original gangster, K4OG. This is W8WKY. Mark, how you doing, my friend? What's your answer tonight? And, wow, man, we had some fun at the Christmas party, didn't we? Go, Mark.
W8WKY, K4OG here. Good evening, everybody. Yes, we did, Nick. It was a fantastic gathering. It just gets better each year. Well, for the trivia question, Eric, wow, I've heard most of these. St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, Odin, Father Christmas. I haven't heard of Chris Grosenclaus. But in Eric fashion, Eric's a smart cookie. I mean, you got to know your Greek, your Latin, your Spanish, your Swahili. I think I'm going to jump on board with Gary with 2 R's and Jerry from Shreve with Father Christmas. It just, that could be it. So there you go. Had to switch out the rental cars. They took away my truck, Nick, and so no HF, but I couldn't talk to Jim in the morning on the phone. That just wouldn't be right. So I scrambled and hooked up I hooked up the 7100 mag mount, flat wire sticking out the trunk, and in ghetto gangster fashion, looped the slack of the antenna cable around the antenna. Anyway, if you see a red Camry going down the truck with an antenna on it, a red Camry, that's probably me. K4OG. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for letting me play.
K4OG W8WKY. Thank you, Mark. Seriously, thank you. Sorry about the truck, man. You're going to miss that toy, Oda. Man. But you're making it work. You're making it work. That's what makes it count. All right, man. I got you down for Echo tonight. We're going to clear with K4OG. Next up, we got Uncle Fred, K8QFT. This is W8WKY. What's your answer, and what do you got for us, Fred? Go.
Well, I really don't have any idea, as usual. So I'm just going to say, I'd like to just leave it blank. We'll get back to it later, but I'll say E. I got two cats here. One of them just hides, finds a place and will hide there, like come out, use a litter, run to get something to eat, and then go right back to the hiding place. The other one is always in trouble, always climbing up on stuff. Scared me the other day, though. Got up on a hot stove and, well fed. I made me some chili, had some hot dogs, and turned my back on her. She jumped up on that stove, man, hot burner and everything. Fortunately, she's okay. She didn't learn a lesson the hard way yet. But K8QFT, back to net control.
K8QFT W8WKY, cat on a hot stove. All right, I got you down for Echo. Echo's making a strong recovery here at the end. Have a great night, Uncle Fred. We'll talk to you later on. I'm going to clear with K8QFT. Let's talk to my brother from another mother, W2JLS. What do you got for us tonight, John?
Whiskey Kilo Yankee via KD8SLG. Hey, buddy. I'm all right. Just hanging out now in the radio room. I heard you guys earlier on the Echolink, and I did hear the question, and I heard all the answers, and I'm wondering if maybe we could get a refresh. I guess I'm inclined towards B, but I want to hear that question again. I can't recall hearing so much of choice D, but maybe we could get Eric to give us another crack at hearing that.
WGLS, WWKY, no worries, John. And any other lurkers out there waiting to check in, listen up. W8LM, take it away, Eric.
W8WKY.
W8WKY from W80LM. Thank you, Nick. The holiday season is upon us. With that in mind, which of the following historical figures did not play a part in the development of what is now the jolly, red-clad, and white-bearded character that we here in America call Santa Claus? They call him that other places too, but anyway, what the heck. Your choices are A. Alpha, Saint Nicholas, B. Bravo, Sinterklaas, C. Odin, D. Chris Grossniklaus, or E, Father Christmas. Again, A is St. Nicholas, B is Sinterklaas, C is Odin, D is Chris Grossniklaus, and E is Father Christmas. Back to net.
W8ELM, W8WKY, thank you very much, Eric. W2JLS, go.
KD8SLG, thanks for the repeat there from Eric. Appreciate him rereading that question so late in the net. Yeah, I was hoping to find a hook to hang a hat on there, but all I can think of is he's referring to a historical figure. Does that mean it had to be a historical figure and that this person has actually existed? And maybe there's some angle there to find something. And then I wonder about Father Christmas. Was that an actual historical figure or even Sinterklaas? But I don't know. I hate to be on the fence on this one, but I'll go with one of the choices that I haven't heard yet, and I'll say B, using that line of reasoning, switching from D to B. Thanks for having me in here in the air tonight. It's nice to hear everybody. Merry Christmas to all on your ears.
W2JLS, W8WKY, the first Bravo of the evening. All right, very good, John, and Merry Hanukkwanzamas to you, my friend. Merry Hanukkwanzamas. We're going to clear with W2JLS, and it's a net now. KC8FQV, this is W8WKY. What's your answer, and what are you going to share with us tonight, Mark? Go. KC8FQV, KD8SLG, W8WKY. Mark, where are you? Go.
I had to wake the phone up and log in. Well, I didn't think we were going to take Alpha because that hasn't been taken. And we know darn well you don't check C. And A is for Aurora, so why not take A just as a guess? And yeah, good seeing everyone last week at the party. And that whole thing was a good meal. So, it was a nice day today. So, yeah, all that white stuff is all gone up here. So we'll send it back your way. Yeah, I seen the NORS net. VZA did that, so he was using NetLogger, and yeah, a lot of people use that. If you don't know about nets, go over there and take a look at that. Put it on your computer, and you can do it. Or you can look up on RagChew and find nets too there. So we'll send it back to net control, okay, self-QV. But I'm going to take Alpha just as a guess. Okay, self-QV.
KC8FQV, W8WKY, got you down for Alpha, Mark. It was great seeing you at the party as well. Thanks for making the journey. All answers have been taken now. That's a good thing. Mark, talk to you tomorrow, I'm sure. We're going to clear with KC8FQV. And last but not least on my list here is Alpha 8 Custom Select, W8WKY. Gary, what's your answer, and what do you got for all of us tonight? Take it away.
Good evening, Sarah and friends. That's all I got. No, just kidding. Couple things here. Special message to K40 God. K40G, I just want you to know that your special delivery was specially delivered. Just so you know that. most everything was picked up apparel-wise. I have 5 non-deliveries, and I'm going to actually call you guys out, and I'm going to send you an email here probably tomorrow sometime. But Bunner, Vandersall, Strait, Ward, and Smith, I have your apparel. You guys did not pay for any delivery, but we'll make some arrangements to get stuff to you. And all the stuff that was to be mailed has been mailed, with the exception of K4OG. Like I said, that special delivery was specially delivered. So apparel has gone well. I'll tell you, I hope you all are as enthralled with your apparel as I am. UIB did a fabulous job. They did a great job with the apparel this year. So, and this was the first full-blown apparel sale with them. They did some T-shirts for us before, but this is the first full bore. We went all in with apparel with them this time around, and they did not disappoint. So I'm very, very happy. There was one error. They're going to take care of it. I talked to Aaron, KE8LVA. It was his order that got just a minor issue. But anyway, that's all handled. Okay, to the trivia question. Let me grab a quick nickel. You know, and I never knew nickels were quick. But hey, you learn something new every day, right? I have a conundrum on my hands here. I zeroed in on C, Odin, because as we all know, Odin is certainly pre-Christian. He was Norse. Let me say that mythology. He's like the main dude. He's the Norse god of war, and I think he's the main guy. Kind of organizes Valhalla and all that stuff. The conundrum is choice C, and everyone knows Shorter's postulate is invoked here, and you just can't choose choice C. But I'm going to go against my better judgment on this one. I don't know about some of the, I've heard of most everything. There's another option I did not hear about, but which seems to be popular tonight. But Odin was pre-Christian. I'm gonna stick with letter C, much to my chagrin, I must add. Eric, another great question, sir. You do good work. You do good work. With that, that's all I have, I think. Great holiday party. I was very pleased with the turnout. Everything seemed to go pretty well, and looking forward to more of those kinds of things in the future. With that, let me turn it back to Net Control. This is AA8CS 73, everybody.
W8WKY.
AA8CS is W8WKY. You throw a good party, Gary. Thank you very much. And I got you down for C, for chagrin, tonight. I got K8VZA. Eric was in and out from the blue screen. Thanks for stopping by, Eric. He's the bottom of my list. We've got 6 minutes until the WatchNet starts, so I'm going to make this last call for anybody else who wants to get out there, who wants to get in and answer tonight's trivia. This is the last call. W8WKY. I'm listening.
Kilo Alpha 8 Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8 LYJ, Bob in Barberton.
Kilo 8 Papa Julie Whiskey, K8 PJW.
Kilo Echo 8 Yankee Uniform Quebec, Philip in River Stakes.
Alpha Mike X-Ray.
KE8 VOX Scott Vermillion.
K4OG recheck.
is WHWKY. We picked up K88LYJ Bob, K8PJW Phil, K8YUQ Philip, K8AMX Dick, and K8VOX, and we've got a recheck from K4OG. Mark, K4OG, go for it.
K4OG here. Back over to Gary, AAHCS. Gary, I'm glad you got to see Jim and Judy. I'm sure they enjoyed that visit. I have no idea what you're talking about, a special delivery. K4OG, back to net.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. We're going to clear with K4OG. And Robert, Bob, and Barberton, you are number 42 tonight. The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. K88LYJ, what's your answer to tonight's trivia, and what do you got for the group?
Don't have much for the group. Just trying to get ahead of the game here on work for ahead of the holidays. And being number 42, I'm really glad I know where my towel is. As far as the trivia question, I am going with Delta.
Delta it is, Bob. Delta it is. You get ahead of the game there on the work. Thanks for stopping by tonight. We'll talk to you next time. Next on the list, we got K8PJW. Phil, how are you tonight? What's your answer, and what do you got?
W8WKY, K8PJW. Good evening, Nick, and good evening to all the Sarah and Edisons out there. I must have gotten run over by a reindeer because I didn't hear my name called in the last round, but that's okay. I'm in this one, so that's all good. You can put me down in the Delta column. That's the one I think I'm the least familiar with, so I go with that. Other than that, after the Christmas party, which the XYL and I thoroughly enjoyed, we headed out to Indiana for the weekend, and we just got back tonight, just in time for the net, so that's all good. And we had a great weekend. Catching up with family and friends and everyone in the Anderson, Indiana area, and so it was a very successful trip. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Nick. KTJW, back to the net.
K8PJW, W8WKY. I had some train wrecks tonight. Alphabet soup I could not sift through, Phil. I'm glad you came back and stuck around. Glad you had a good time with family, and it was great seeing you and your better half last week as well. Got you down for Delta. We're going to clear with K8PJW. Let's talk to Philip. K8YUQ, this is W8WKY. What's your answer, and what do you got for us?
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Uniform Quebec. Not much tonight. Got to work in the morning. Hopefully I'll be able to hit the net at least in and out on it, but we'll see how that goes. They're supposed to be drilling a third well in the morning. Try this again. And I'm going to go with Echo. It's a hard question, and we'll see how close I come. Back to you, Nick.
K8YUQ, W8WKY. Well, Phil, maybe the third well will be the charm. Third time's the charm, they say, right? I hope it works out for you, man. I really do. Got you down for Echo tonight. I'm going to clear with K8YUQ, and let's go to Nick. K8AMX. This is W8WKY. Good evening, Dick. What do you got for us, and what's your answer to the trivia question?
Well, I want to say good evening to all the chickens and the scanners and what have you. And want to say hi to all our K8s. And for the question, it would be Delta. And with that, I'm going to go find this out anymore. This is Kilowatt 8, American Motors Experimental, living the dream in beautiful downtown Firestone Park.
K8AMX, W8WKY, barely over a minute tonight, Dick, barely over a minute. Thanks for stopping by. So good to see you and Susan last week as well. Got you down for Delta. And that takes us to the bottom of the list, but certainly not the bottom of the barrel. KE8VOX, this is W8WKY. What's your answer tonight, and what do you got for us, Scott? Go.
Good evening, everyone. KE8VOX here. I was clueless before I heard the question, and I'm clueless after I heard the question, so I picked C because I'm clueless. That's all I got, Nick. Back to net control.
All right, Scott, the new king of crossband repeat. I got you down for Charlie tonight. C for clueless. All right, let's get up to Eric and find the answer tonight. I am going with Delta, and that's all I got for everybody tonight. W8EL is W8WKY. What do you got for us, and what's the answer tonight, Eric?
WAWKY from W80LM. First of all, Gary, really, C? You know I never pick C, except for when I do. And you people that picked D, with a name like Chris, you never heard of Chris Kringle? Gross Nick Klaus? Never heard of St. Nick? I couldn't believe it. Well, anyway, D is the correct answer. Chris Grossniklaus is a real person. She is national section leader for the Corgan, that's C-O-R-G-A-N, architecture and design firm. And she was recently promoted to that position, so I want to congratulate her. St. Nicholas, Greek Orthodox bishop from Turkey around 280 AD. Good old St. Nick. Sinterklaas is the Dutch version of St. Nicholas. So B, Sinterklaas, the Dutch version of St. Nicholas.
W8WKY.
Odin, the Norse god. Have you heard of a Yule log and the celebration of Yule? Odin rode through the sky, presiding over a feasting and drinking festival. And let's see, E, Echo, Father Christmas. He is the traditional English personification considered synonymous with Santa Claus. So thanks everybody for participating tonight. W8WKY, also known as Just Nick, KD8EPC Dustin, KE8WVV Ethan, KE8ARB Brandon, NT8D Dave, KE8ZZR, my good friend Harry, W03X John, KA8LYJ Bob, K8PJW Phil, and K8AMX Dick. All had the correct answer. Thank you everyone for participating. Back to net. This is W8ELM.
W8ELM, W8WKY. Eric, as always, you have earned the title of Trivia Master. Thank you very much, as always, sir. We're going to clear with W8ELM. Let me drop this for a beat. I would like to thank everybody who joined us tonight on the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday Night Net. We'll be back again next week. I think. It's Christmas Eve. Remind everybody to check into the Barometer Net every morning at the ungodly hour of 7 a.m., Monday through Saturday, not Sundays. The Beacon Net, Wednesday and Sunday nights at 10 o'clock. Early check-ins start at 9:30. And join Dustin and I tomorrow on the first hour of the Boredom Breaker Net, and I'm pretty sure KI5OZZ will be there for the second hour. Hope to see a bunch of you there. At this time, we're going to shut it down with 46 check-ins tonight. Fine business. I'm going to return the repeater and the call sign to W8WKY. This is KD8SLG. This net is secure at 9:05. Everybody, I'm heading down to the watch net in Millersburg, 146670. Negative offset and the PL tone is 71.9. KB8PXM does a great job. Maybe I'll hear a few of you there. This is KD8SLG. I'm clear.